Oh my.
Thousands.
Oh
1,000.
my! Well, there's just one problem here, Jesse. That's not really enough to bluff this pot. There was 3,600 in there, and he's only bet 1,000. Now, is Justin going to know that his eights are good?
It's over half of Justin's stack. I mean, if he calls and loses, it's nearly like putting him out of the tournament. Does he want to gamble his entire future on 2 eights? No, he doesn't.
Oh, dear.
How strong was that?
Well, what helped there is the fact that John called on the turn so quickly. And, of course, this put some doubt in Justin O'Shaughnessy's mind.
They breed them tough in Scotland. From the Hales and Moors, John Shaw has just played the pot of his life. Oh, my.
I mean, nuts.
Over hill, over dale, and John Shaw is running this game from the ins and outs of the 1 seat. But it's Clay Knight first to speak here.
Raise to 300.
And Clay, in a
Pass.
desperate attempt to get busy, has doubled this pot.
Yeah, he was first to act, Jesse, what we call under the gun. He's our short stack on the table, and I would have preferred him to raise a little bit more, but...
King Queen for John Shaw, worth a call, he says.
Call.
And Michael Clark feels like he's got pot odds, but he's wrapped up in this pot. If the 3 or the king comes, he'll be out kickered on both of them.
3 players.
And as usually happens in these situations, everybody has missed Broadway out there on 7th Avenue.
Of course, Clay's got the advantage here. He's last to act. But John's not going to give him any
400.
chance.
First bluff, the best bluff right now. John Shaw
Pass.
using his chip lead like a battering ram. Clay's going to lay him down, and we have got a dominator on this table.
Pass.
Pass.
Just a pose for respect, but John Shaw taking the pot and only playing 3 months. Ignorance might be bliss. John has stultified these other 3 players here. They do not know where he's at. Looking for the best British poker amateur here. Late night poker ace tournament, and could it be John Shaw? He's got the chips to prove it right now.
Well, he's first to act, Jesse, and look at this. You know he likes these suited hands.
Raise to 300.
Well, he's made a minimum raise here. This is one, I suppose, that he can get away from if he gets re-raised, but
Pass.
Michael's having none of it. What about Clay?
Our sales and marketing executive from Plymouth.
Pass.
Pass.
You know, Clay is really being asked a question about his game here, Simon. Is he prepared to move with no cards? Because he's had no cards to move with.
Yeah, well, here we have Justin O'Shaughnessy. Obviously, he's a short stack as well now. He knows that it's only been a minimum raise. I wouldn't like to see him just call here with this.
Justin trying to work out how many chips he has. Can he afford to leave any behind?
I'm all in, which
That's
I think
great.
is
That's good play.
1,600.
Well played, Justin.
Raise all in 1,600.
Justin has played a lot of tournaments online, Simon, and one thing he knows is about drawing the line in the sand, and he has drawn it firmly. Now that is the most serious question that's been asked of John all night long.
Call.
Wow.
Call.
Julian raised it in and John called.
Well, Justin is
Julian
fidgeting in
shows
his seat like he
ace-9
doesn't like the
clubs.
call, but he'll be surprised at
John
John's
shows
cards.
King 7 of spades. Let's see the flop.
This could be a huge misstep for John. Justin all in. He's the favorite here. Can ace-9
And
hold
the flop
up?
comes 7,
Oh,
4
no,
deuce,
look at this
all
flop.
hearts.
John's hit
Paired
the
sevens
7.
for John. But Julian needs to improve. He needs an ace or a 9.
Ace or 9 or Justin
Trump card.
O'Shaughnessy,
Is
our
it
house
deuce?
husband
No
from
help.
Surrey,
And the last card.
will be going home to his
is another
baby.
7.
Full
And it's
house
a full house,
for
and
John
Jordan is our next
Shaw.
player up.
And Justin O'Shaughnessy can't believe it. He knows that that's all part of poker. And a lot of class to smile on the way out. But he'll have to feel like he did everything right. And still ends up in 4th.
I had a bit of a rush to start with. I got a load of great cards and built up quite a big stack, and I just seemed to dribble my chips away, unfortunately, which sometimes happens. I thought there was a good chance that he was just trying to steal the blinds, really, so I went all in. Unfortunately, he had enough chips that he could call with his King 7, and he got a couple of 7s, so that's the way it goes.
Orange chip's worth 25, the red's worth 100. But Clay, well, he's happy he's not one of the 3 guys on the sidelines. But knowing this man from Plymouth,
Call.
he's going to need some
Call.
chips before his experience can come into play.
Well, he showed a bit of
Pass.
inexperience there. This is an experienced player. 3-handed, King 10 on the button with his short stack. That's enough to move with.
Check.
Check. Thank you.
King 10 versus Queen 10 here. 375 in the kitty. And who will be the first to
Please, check.
bluff?
$150.
150.
I'll bet the minimum. Is Michael a believer?
Pass.
Or does he not care?
Well, it worked out for him that time, Jesse, but really he should play a little bit more aggressively against these 2 players. You've got John Shaw, massive chip leader in the small blind, and let me tell you, if he finds any semblance of a hand, he's going to call you. And of course, you've got Michael Clark, who has proved that if you show any sign of weakness, he's going to jump all over you. So although Clay won that pot, I think he needs to step his game up a little bit, play a little bit more aggressively.
John Shaw nearly at the summit with 8,300 chips. Michael Clark in second, and Clay Knight still hanging in there with 1425 left. There's 225 pounds in the pot, and
450.
Raise to 450.
Michael says, I'll take that. We haven't seen Clay pick up too many aces. It's not a big one.
Pass.
He lays it down.
Problem, of course, now is Clay, all night, he had Justin O'Shaughnessy, the chip leader, on his left. And now he's got John Shaw, the chip leader, on his left. So, of course, it'd be remarkable if Clay made it to the last 2, having been short-stacked throughout this whole heat.
John Shaw has asked for a chip count, and you can see what he's thinking. Shall I just move on this guy?
1,000.
Well, he has re-raised, but not the lot, only to 1,000, and that's put
Is it 1,000?
Michael Clark in a serious bind here. 550
Raise
more.
to 1,000.
What does he want to do here, Simon?
Well, the thing is, Jesse, I mean, he could call here. I mean, even if he thinks that John's got an ace something, ace queen, ace king, he's got 2 live cards worth seeing the flop with. When I say 2 live cards, I mean 2 cards that are different to his opponents. Of course, if he knew that John had an underpair, he's getting 3 to 1 for an even money shot, and he'd be calling a lot quicker. The other problem, of course, is Clay on his left is the short stack, and he doesn't really want to tangle with John. He wants to tangle with Clay or get John to knock Clay out, and for that reason he's passed.
Pass.
I liked the way Michael Clark's wheels were spinning there.
So 100, 200.
The blinds have gone up to 100, 200. And Simon, there's 2 ways to play a poker tournament. One is to accumulate chips. Another one is to survive and weather the storm. And Clay Knight here has done very well to just make it this far with the cards he's been getting.
Absolutely, Jesse, and the only sign of weakness in Clay's game is that short-handed, when he's picking up hands, he's not playing aggressively enough, and we all know that aggression is what gets you there in the end.
Well, this pot could be a tester. Clay has limped in for 200. A raise from John Shaw with a weaker hand, 10-jack suited, and will Clay commit his chips?
Well, we know one thing for sure. If he does, John's